want to get real specific. I'm going to go back to my public and private breakdown. Shout out to Yusuf L. My man made this, created this. This is code. Go to highfrequencyradionetwork.com. You can download this, public and private. So we got natural law. We have the way that things happen naturally on this earth, in the solar system, so on and so forth. Without us being there, I couldn't be here. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. You know, that's natural law. These are things that have been distilled and observed through, you know, demonstration, observed by humans and learned man to be natural law. These are 7 principles. Proverbs 9:11, wisdom has built her house on 7 pillars. It's the Kabbalion. It's a lot of different things. And then below that, we have positive law. This is man's law, man-made law. Man is the trustees of natural law. As humans on this earth, we are trustees of this earth. At this point, we're not doing too well, bro. Not doing too well, sister. But, you know, we didn't create anything here. Everything natural, everything that's here that's natural was here when we got here. Or it's been here the whole time we've been here. Or who knows? I don't want to get into that. We're the trustees of it. We're supposed to be taking care of this. When we go, it hands down to the ones after us. Okay? Now, this is still one. Natural law is singular. Positive law is singular. This is before the duality. All right? So now what we got, I'm going to break it down. We got substantive law on one side, procedural law on the split. And I'm going to go to the real split, which is public law and private law. Public law is the body of law dealing with relations between individuals and the government and with the structure and operation of government itself. Cool. I'm going to go into, I got 4th edition? No, this is 3rd edition. And I'm going to go into public. The whole body politic. It's a noun. Public is a noun. The whole body politic, or the aggregate of the citizens of the state, district, or municipality. Right? The whole body politic. Now, I'm not going to read it, man. This is pages of definitions in here. Private, affecting or belonging to private individuals, as distinct from the public generally. Not official, semicolon, not clothed with office. It's private. So when we're dealing with private, those are the distinctions. Private individuals, through consent, make up the public. And private individuals give consent to be governed by the public. This is fundamental. This is foundation. Now, before the public, there's private. And private basically is family, pretty much. Family and friends. And those that you choose to do business with. So we have a family estate. We'll go to Black's Law, 3rd edition again. I'm going to read estate. Because there's a public estate and there's a private family or family estate. So let's just put this down. Estate, the interest which any one, not any body, political body, any one, has in lands or in any other subject of property. An estate in lands, tenements, and hereditaments signifies such interest as the tenant has therein. The condition or circumstance in which the owner stands, and this stands is italicized, with regard to his property. The state is constantly used in conveyances in connection with the words right, title, and interest. Rights, titles, and interest, and is in a great degree synonymous with all of them. Classification of states in this sense may be either absolute or conditional. Now, I'm going to tell you, absolute is private, conditional is public. I'm going to tell you that. Or an estate in lands not subject to be defeated upon any condition. In this phrase, the word absolute is not used legally to distinguish a fee from a life estate, but a qualified or conditional fee from a fee simple. A conditional estate is one that the existence of which depends upon the happening or not happening of some uncertain event. So you can have a conditional private estate as well as a public estate, but your absolute estate only lies in your family estate and only lies in the private. I mean, if you can create a company like Steve Jobs and then get fired from your own company and go create another company and then get rehired from your own company that you created in the first place, that's not absolute. And that's a condition of the public estate. Now, the family estate essentially is what is missing, essentially is what has been taken from the majority, as I would say. The family estate exists as rights, title, and interest in specific property, tenements, and hereditaments. These things, hereditaments, these things being passed on, heirlooms, so on and so forth, family heirlooms. When it comes to family estate versus public estate, your public estate, if you're asking me, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, any of these things, but your public estate specifically starts with that certificate of live birth. Starts with the birth certificate. Starts with the birth certificate with a state seal on it. In the state of Tennessee, Texas, California, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Illinois, so on. These are all public estates. They're not private. So the public has rights, title, specific title potentially, and interest in all things public. And that begins with the birth certificate. Now, that I've, kind of broken down public and private a little bit, family estate versus public estate, you can kind of see that the birth certificate represents a title or interest in a name on the public side. There's no offsetting or corresponding title to that name in the family estate, in the private estate. I believe that's one of the main issues that is out there. However it's solved, still an issue. I'm not going to get into the solving and how to correct that because that's not what I wanted to go through on this episode. I want to make a specific distinction between family estate and public estate, private estate versus public estate. Now, your family estate will have titles and property titled to it. Now, if you think about that name on the birth certificate and the corresponding Social Security number and where it came from and what state or public estate may have rights, title, or interest in it, because the state seal is on the front of these documents that are being used to do business with. We understand that most of us, probably the vast majority of us, do not have as many things titled in the family estate as we do in the public estate. We understand that the public estate is probated if there is no will. We understand that there is an inheritance tax even if there is a will. We understand this. Maybe we don't understand the specific mechanisms as to how and why. But we see it. The family estate does not go through probate. Family estate hereditaments, family estate property, family estate assets do not go through probate. Family estate assets most times are, if administered properly, are not subject to attachment of liens, judgments, garnishments from the public. It is important that we understand these distinctions if we are to change the way we have been and we are as a people. This is my charity. I do this. Sharif does this. Yusuf does this. I can speak for those three brothers. I can speak for several of the trustees that I deal with in the private, but it's private, so I will not say their name. This is how we administer, and we have set up and re-established our private family estates. We understand the significance, the benefits, and the minimal liabilities of doing such. So having property, hereditaments, these things, in the name of a public estate, in the name in a name that can be claimed, or an interest can be claimed in by a state of California, a state of Arizona, a state of Kentucky. Because the first document had state of on it. And when we see state of, you gotta understand it's the public estate. The public estate has a self-interest that outweighs your private estate. Naturally, as natural as a lion chasing down a gazelle, the interest that lion has in getting that food and potentially getting it back to its cubs override the interest of, just letting things be free. So measures need to be taken. What is your family estate?
Right.
Family estate begins with trust. A family trust, if you ask me, is where it begins. A last name. I like to point out that, a family estate would be the equivalent to like a mother corporation or an umbrella corporation, in my opinion. A lot of things would fall under or next to the family trust. It's private. It's got to be private, right? Because we're talking about the family estate. And if we're to do business, we do that with a trust as well. That will be the business trust. It's private. Now you got a name on public documents, public estate documents, state of, the state of, the estate of. So do you have private documents?
That's what they ask you.
A public corporation is one created by the state for political purposes and to act as an agency in the administration of civil government, generally within a particular territory or subdivision of the state, and usually invested for that purpose, the state, with subordinate and local powers of legislation, such as the county, city, town, or school district. These are also sometimes called political corporations. Did you know that your county, city, town, and school district is sometimes called a political corporation? Private corporations are those founded by and composed of private individuals for private purposes as distinguished from governmental purposes and having no political or governmental franchises or duties. No political or governmental franchises or duties. The true distinction between public and private corporations is that the former are organized for governmental purposes, the latter not. The term public has sometimes been applied to corporations of which the government owned the entire stock, as in the case of State Bank. But bearing in mind that public is here equivalent to political, it will be apparent that this is a misnomer. Again, the fact that the business or operations of a corporation may directly or very extensively affect the general public, as in the case of a railroad company or a bank or insurance company, is no reason for calling it a public corporation. If organized by private persons for their own advantage, or even if organized for the benefit of the public generally, as in the case of a free public hospital or other charitable institution, it is nonetheless a private corporation if it does not possess governmental powers or functions. Do you possess governmental powers or functions? No. Is the filing of a tax form or 1040, could that be considered a governmental power or a function? It's a function of government. Is the Internal Revenue Service a delegated authority of the government? Or delegated, didn't the Congress delegate authority to the Internal Revenue Service? It's interesting to me. Most of our family estates don't exist. Let's just be real. Why is it important? Number one, it's important for generational wealth preservation. When you pass away, your wealth won't be taxed or augmented, accessed. Why is it important? For control, overall control, and not ownership, because with ownership comes liability. You want rights, title, and interest. You have specific rights with regards to your family trust. Why? Because of your blood, because of your genes, because you have been assigned as a successor trustee. I don't know. Are those rights given to you by the government? I think most people don't know that you don't need an EIN or Social Security number to title property. Most people don't know that you can walk into the Secretary of State and organize a corporation without showing any type of ID, without being required. Most people don't know that, family estate or the private estate is still recognized. It's just not taught. Tree, did you have something? Did you say something?
No, I think you're good.
Okay.
I'm good.
I found, we did a series, Commercial Belly. I put a V in there, but it's actually Commercia Belly. Shout out to one of the, trustees in the private. She pointed this out to me. I knew this, but I ain't never really seen it in the actual dictionary. So I did the, Commercial Belly. I put the V in there. I like Tupac. War contracts. Contracts between nations at war or their subjects. Agreements entered into by belligerents, either in time of peace to take effect in the event of war or during the war itself, by which arrangement is made for non-hostile intercourse. They may take the form of armistices, truces, capitulations, cartels, passports, safe conducts, safeguards, contracts between citizens of one belligerent and those of another, or between citizens of one belligerent and another belligerent. It may take the form of ransom bills, bills of exchange drawn by prisoners of war, or receipts for requisitions. You ever got a receipt for a requisition? I'm just trying to point this out. You don't see Commercial Belly, or technically speaking, Commercial Belly going on right now between your family estate and the public estate? I see it. How many generations of wealth did you inherit? I know Trump inherited wealth. How was he able to do that? How did that put him ahead more than me, more than you? How important is this information? How important is family estate? How important is understanding it? How important is understanding the public estate? How important is understanding family estate versus public estate and understanding that there is a versus in there. You're either going to pay these taxes, you'll either have specific deduction that you can put on your W-4, pretty sure it's W-4, to exempt yourself from specific withholdings. So you can take home a specific amount exchanged from your labor, from your time, from your effort, from your energy, from your life. That's going to come home to your family. It's going to be exchanged for food on your table, translated into payments for your bills, mortgage for your rent, gas for your vehicle, karate class if you can afford it for your children, piano lessons if you can afford it. If you can't, no piano lessons. Jordans for your little ones. Yeah, you know it's eccentric. Don't buy Jordans. It's ridiculous. But you didn't have them when you were a shorty, when you were young. You got teased. You don't want your little ones to be teased. You know what it is. Nah, it's not about the Jordans. It's about my child having what I don't have or what I didn't have when I was coming up. How effectively are we able to do that? I would say that the difference is, and the biggest thing is, you know, we don't understand that this is war contracts, commercial contracts, commercial war contracts, family estate versus public estate. Your parents made it happen for you to be here. What does the government do for you, man? How many times you called 911 and they came through and they helped you out? How many times you ran out of gas and they pulled over and the police gave you a ride to the gas station and helped you get gas? I'm not tripping. What are the benefits that are being derived from all these taxes, from all these liabilities, all these tickets and, fees and... That's the public estate versus your family estate. That's what that is. Translates to, period. Point blank, period. Pulling no punches. Try to say something vague so you kind of get it, but you don't get it. You want to hit me up and try to pay me some money. Look, man, the foundation. We need this. Every time you get up and go to work, you're going to war. For your necessities, for what you need. For the things that you want to do for your family, for the things that you want to do for yourself. We're being destroyed. Your family wealth is being destroyed. Your family estate is being destroyed. It's being prevented from being established due to lack of knowledge, because we just don't know. We just don't know. So, for the foundation, I'm going to let you know, man. Converse your belly. Common law, as distinguished from Roman law, the modern civil law, the canon law, and other systems. So it's distinguished from these laws and other systems. Common law is that body of law and juristic theory which was originated, developed, and formulated and administered in England and has obtained among most of the states and peoples, as distinguished from law created by the enactment of legislation. The common law comprises the body of those principles and rules of action related to the government and security of persons and property which derive their authority solely from usages and customs of immemorial antiquity. Usages and customs of immemorial antiquity. Look, it's immemorial. It's from my ancestors, man. It's from my family, man. It's from my lineage. It's from my family estate. Distinguished from the laws and enactments of legislatures and statutes, contracts, private, family estate versus public estate. You got public law, you got private law. Private law deals with contract law, tort law, status law, property law. Your name is your property. The name that you do business with your property. If I could trademark and copyright a name or a song or something in the public, what does that mean to me? What does that mean to you? It's property, right? Rights, title, and interest. But essentially, it's trademarked, copywritten by, or under the name of a name that was created by a state of Arkansas, state of Oklahoma, state of Hawaii, state of Alaska, state of Alabama. And this is, these are some of the things that we miss. Unless we have another entity that's private that we're doing business with, or that has rights, title, and interest in the public entities that we're doing business with in the public, we have no family estate. Having a 98 number is not a family estate. It's a reporting number for an expressed, declared trust, man. You call that number to get that number. You declared to them, they said, what's the name of the entity? And you declared verbally that this was the name of the entity. They entered it. You declared when it was created, where it was created. You declared all that stuff, man. You get 2 pieces of paper in the mail. It's not a trust. It's not a family estate. It's representing something within a family estate. That's what that 9A number represents. Not a trust. Yeah, I don't care if you got a 9A number. I'm going to say it right now. All the cats talking about, yo, get your 9A number, blah, 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 and then they telling you that's it. They're full of brown stuff, yo. Manure. It's only part of it. You got to understand family estate. You got to understand private contract, private law. You got to understand private contract law, private tort law, private status law, private property law. Well, the 9A number doesn't mean anything. You can't substantiate it. And if you can't substantiate it, if it's not substance, they're going to associate it with their form. And if they're going to associate it with their form, they have jurisdiction over it. Tax away. Tax ridiculous. How long you got to work? And then when you retire, you know where retirement is? Everybody, I'm saving for retirement. You ever stop to think that retirement does not include what you're going to pass down to your children? What you're going to retire on. It's not like your family estate. They calculate what you need, what money you're going to need until your flesh passes away, until you shake the dust off your spirit. It doesn't have anything to do with if you want to put some of your grandkids through college or some sort of private class or something like that. You want to finance their first business. That's not part of your retirement. That's family estate. The public ain't going to help you with that. The public, you see a public institution or an attorney say, let me help you with your estate planning. Please understand, they're talking about that public estate. They're talking about the estate of that public entity that looks like your name, that's in all capital letters. two things. Research how corporations write the names, how officers of corporations distinguish the name of corporation. Look at the state of California or whatever state that you're born in, see that it's in all capital letters, and then pull out a checkbook and a magnifying glass and read the line that you sign on where the signature goes and realize that's not a line. And come over here and understand that this is commercial warfare against your private estate, your private energy. The state of did not have anything to do with your birth. It had something to do with the birth of that agency with your name on it, though. You don't distinguish between your family estate and your public estate. There's going to be very few benefits for your family estate. If you ain't working, if you ain't out here hustling for your last name, you're a loser in my book. That's why a lot of these, stars have single names and stuff. Like Sharif, you like Prince's estate got probated. He's a single name artist. Wasn't thinking about his last name, obviously. Shout out to the brother, not disrespecting, man. All praise is due. Like, he was an inspiration as an artist, you know what I'm saying? But maybe the brother didn't understand that it was commercial warfare.
Yeah.
We go war in the public all the day with each other, but we ain't building in the private. We're not building that family estate. Public law is constitutional law, criminal law, administrative law, and international law. That's the public estate. Now, the Constitution is a public trust indenture. I said it, Sharif said it. Sharif and I built on it a while ago. But it was written by private individuals. And in that public trust indenture, which is law, all treaties are recognized, and no state shall pass any law infringing contracts or impairing the obligation of contracts. That's where your family estate is, man. The contract. Honor it. So our duty is to reestablish our private estates. We understand that, somewhere along the way, our ancestors, our great-grandparents, something, whatever, they either never had them, came to this country looking for, the ability to build their own estate because they were getting away from dictatorships or war-torn countries or what have you. And those of us who are here that had it and lost it. Autochthonous, Aboriginals, Native Americans, it is what it is. Or those that had it and established a family estate and somehow lost it. I'm sure a lot of us have stories of our grandparents, great-grandparents having acres of land and all this other stuff, and it's not really there anymore. We don't understand really what happened, and we're very accepting of that. And part of that acceptance is not really learning how that happened so that you can prevent it from happening again. And that's really, that's really too bad. It's like, if we're truly going to honor our ancestors and honor our mothers and fathers, then we need to do something for the ones who are going to come behind us, whether we have children or not. We need to do something. We need to act in trust, bottom line. We got to act under natural law, natural principle. We need to be the trustees of natural law. We need to be the trustees of our state. We need to be the trustees of our children, of our grandparents, of our mothers, of our fathers, of our uncles, of our brothers. Instead of depending on, the public estate to provide for us, we can take more control of our wealth and provide for ourselves through dealing with each other and establishing our wealth between each other. And then we don't have to worry about marching so much. We don't have to worry about protesting so much because our affairs are being handled. We're not looking for those outside to come and help us, to come and, get us right and help us stand up and dust us off. We can, take matters into our own hands. I'm going to play basketball and be like, I'm going to make it to the NBA and not practice. Because I'm just going to have faith that every time I throw the ball up, it's going to go in the hoop. No, I'm going to sit out there and practice. So that it can be right. It can be on point. Providing for our own is the biggest thing. You ain't got to really look to anyone else to do anything for you. It's a very powerful way of thinking, way of being. Kind of lean on those that came before you. And understand that there's greatness in yourself and that we need to establish our family estate. Not the next generation. We need to understand family estate versus public estate. Not someone else. Someone else is going to handle it. Nah. Right now. Do something about it. And quit waiting for it to happen at a later date. Quit putting it off. Because I'm tired. Because I went to school. I had class today. And then I went to work afterwards. Or I worked all day. And I came home and cooked. And I ain't really got time. And I just need time for me. I just need time for me. I'm not studying. And I'm not really researching ways to move forward and understand what it is I'm dealing with. Understand, is there any way that I could maximize the income that I'm making? That I could maximize or add to the income that I got coming in? That I can do more? How can I do more? How can I do more instead of, these are the reasons why I can't. These are the reasons why I can't. These are the reasons why I can't. How can I do more? How can I do more? And your family estate requires that, period. It's happening now. Now is the time. The public got all of its laws. Numerous laws for the benefit of the public. Numerous laws, legislation, statutes. United States statutes at large, codes, regulations for itself, for the administration, for the benefit, for the remedial processes of the public. Where are the laws for your private estate? Where are those? Where's the laws for your family, for your last name? How do y'all do it? We know how the public does it. We know what you expect. They even got the Internal Revenue Service. They tell you how to do the books. Here's how you incorporate the corporation. Here's how you, start a business. Here's how you open a bank account. Here's how you do business credit. Here's how you get an EIN. Everything is provided. You can do this website, or you can. What are you providing for your family estate? What's the core principles? What's the mission? What's your charity? What do you do? What do you take part in as a charity? What is your private family foundation? What assets are you protecting? Public's protecting its assets. What assets is your family estate protecting? What are you charged to do? You charged to go to work and handle that job. You got a lot of responsibilities with that job. What time you got to be there, time you can punch out, time you go to break. What do you got to do? How you got to do the job? What types of quality control you got to go through? What's the quality control for your family estate? What's the quality? What's the laws and the procedures regarding, how your family does business with itself, with each other, with your family members? How you address one another? How do you handle a situation if one of your family members is in need, is on drugs? Who taught you that? Did anybody teach you that? At the job that you work right now, were you taught how to do things in case something happens? Or do you always got to go to a supervisor? No, I'm sure there's stuff that you know how to do. They taught you. Or you figured it out. You figured it out for your family estate. How much effort do you put into the public estate? Realistically, how much effort do we put into the public estate on a day-to-day basis? And then we say, I need time for me. Not time for my last name, for my family. I need time for me. So I'm going to watch the game. I'm going to take selfies. I'm going to put the filter on this joint and bang it on Instagram. And check my likes. What have you done to ensure that your children stay close-knit into the family? And what reasons do they have? Do they have a certificate of beneficial interest or specific trust with funds and things that they can do with it, with regards to the indenture, to the law of the family estate, with requirements and duties and liabilities, but benefits? So they ain't really got to necessarily go and benefit the public to receive their personal benefit. They can see their personal self in their last name, or then they got to go find self in the public. And then we talk mess about us, and they talk mess about us when we don't come home. And how disrespectful we are, and how we ain't about family. And how the world got us, and we worldly, and we ain't with the church. And we ain't with the family ain't really doing nothing for me, man. And then we get mad because they say that, well, I fed you, and I raised you, and I cleaned your mouth when you threw up. Yo, that's your trustee fiduciary responsibility. Let's be real. That's what you're supposed to do for your child.
Facts.
But we hold that dear. Oh, I put Jordans on your feet. You never, ever went hungry. You get a medal for that? We got to be real with ourselves first, yo. We got to understand. And this is the foundation. I love my people. I love y'all. This is why I'm saying this. Otherwise, I'll be doing something else right now. This is charity for myself and Sharif. We could be doing something else right now. We like to wake up the emails that we receive money for our business endeavors. We like to give our family members things. We know our time is money. We understand this. But I ain't no sellout. I'll tell you that. I ain't no sellout. But that's why we do this. This is the foundation. This is how I ain't no sellout. I don't work no 9 to 5. I don't have to. But I ain't out here kicking in with these others that ain't me, glorifying that and looking down upon those who look like me, and not trying to do something for me, for self. You know who self is? You. You know who I am? You. You know who looks like me? You. You know who went through what I went through? You. You know who can understand and relate to what I went through and what I saw? You. So why am I going to kick it with them? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to teach what I taught. Out of love, out of respect, truth, out of freedom, peace, justice, equality. And I'm going to tell you this, foundation. You have a family estate, you have a public estate. But most of us, we have no family estate. So we got to study. And it's private. And I'm going to tell you, private law, again, is contract law, tort law, T-O-R-T, status law, status, and property law, property, not real estate. That's something different than property, private property. I ain't getting on my brothers and sisters. Please believe me, I ain't getting on my brothers and sisters. I'm just trying to do my best to illustrate, articulate what it is, what's really going on. It's us against them. And they want us to think, oh, the color of skin is us against them. Man, look, it's the private versus the public, man. They supposed to be serving the citizens, the private. They ain't doing that no more, man. All these dang taxes, not a service. How many public services do you get? Bi-weekly.
Yeah.
How many times are you paying taxes
man.
bi-weekly? How many public services do you get bi-weekly? How many public services do you get? And you think the tax return is a public service? Or is that really an interest-free loan that's being returned to you that you gave to the public? When you rolled through that stop sign, or you didn't see that yellow light or whatever, and they gave you a ticket, did you hurt anybody? Did you break natural law? Or did you break public law? And did that public law harm you? Did it harm your finances? Did it harm your time, your schedule? Did it harm your refrigerator with the amount that could have been in there? Did it harm your gas tank? And what truly did you harm? Did you run into anybody? Did you run into the pole? The truth of it is, yo, family estate versus public estate. Sharif, you have something? I'm sorry.
Nah, man, it's been a good run. I think kind of going through it at just such a quality angle. It's good, man. Keep going. I mean, you can open it up for callers.
Yeah.
It's already after the hour, but I mean,
all right,
I just like to hear that
open
perspective,
up
man.
For callers.
I like to hear the perspective.
424-222-5250. You press 1, man. Chop it up. Say what's up. First time calling. Say peace. You feel me? You feel what we're talking about? Say I feel it, yo. You don't feel it? Say, yo, I don't feel this, son. This is garbage. It's basura. And this is what it is. Man, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to listen to you, man. Or sister. Because I'm always down to hear to hear something.
Well, let's just go ahead and say that, brother.
What's that?
This is the estate information is the family information. It's like, if the sisters is having the children, they got to be able to have the estate information themselves. They can't just say, oh, well, we're going to have a man and the man is the estate holder. That's the patriarchal mindset. That's the, the mindset that is left with, to a degree, the community at a deficit. Not just that particular estate, but the community. When you look at the community, it's like, wow, why isn't the community estate bigger? Well, it's because the people in the community, they don't know the estate, and so their estates aren't together, and that's because the women need to know that, and there's no gender to knowing this information. Like, if you don't carry yourself as a king and queen, then no worries. You don't need to know about king and queen stuff. But this is king and queen stuff, where you understand and you study family estate holding. That's what they consider king and queen status. So you should be having something to protect. And no matter how big or how small. So, I yield, man. Go ahead in, brother.
Yo, your only true birthmark you got is your belly button. I don't care what you say. Every man, every woman comes from a woman. Sister, stand up, please. Brothers, if you ain't helping her stand up, sit your ass down. Excuse my language. Because this, you want to talk about balance, let's get even over here. And I ain't finna worship no sister. Just like I don't worship no man either. Please believe me. But it's like, I heard this quote, mother is a name for God on the lips and hearts of all children. All children. Every child, when they get sick or they get hurt, they want their mom. So, in order for this, whatever's going on, for it to really start to heal, sisters, man, stand up. Brothers, let them. Support them. If you don't, then it's time for us to be ladies and gentlemen. Not every woman is a lady. Not every man is a gentleman. Demonstration is key. And recognize, man. Whoa, man. It's even more letters in the word. I got nipples. They don't do nothing.
That has some significance, right?
every time I look in the mirror, kind of feel silly. Like, what are these for? They ain't do nothing. They don't do nothing. Recognize. Family estate versus public estate. That's pretty much all I got. I didn't really want to go heavy. I'm gonna read some terms. I'm gonna lay the foundation. I'm gonna let y'all. If y'all can pick up what I'm putting down, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? If not, I get it. Who am I? I don't really know. I don't know anything. I just research. Bottom line of it is, but if there's a public, there's a private. There's a night, there's a day. There's a man, there's a woman. There's a left, there's a right. There's an up, there's a down. Fire, water, earth, and air. Complete opposites, man. Wave your hand in the air. Now wave your hand in some dirt. Yeah. That's it, We need to start really, really, really getting down with our family estates, making moves, demonstrating. I know we got a lot of information hoarders. Stop it. Start making moves. I know we got a lot of cats that are confused and worried. Teach people, teach those below you, teach people around you. Quit being scared. I am more concerned about being known as a coward in this world or the next than I am about being scared of anything. Please believe me. 954, we're going to go to the phone lines. Because why not? 954-8449. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace. This is Michael, first-time caller.
Oh, peace, brother. How you doing?
Good.
Peace, brother Michael.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
Sharif. Hey, man, I had a question again on that Uline, the business credit.
Yes, sir.
That Uline is it's a company. It's a janitorial company, commercial stuff.
Yeah, they do commercial stuff. Yeah, but they have janitorial supplies.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it was the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, I would say, sign up online. Sign up as a corporation, like a corporate account, and put the EI in there. So I can't remember exactly what I had to do. It's been a while, but there were some ones that I had to do the application, and they asked for a guarantor, and I just left it alone, and they would call me,
right,
or email me, and then they would put it through, or I think Uline, they just asked for the EIN, and then I let when I went to check out, there was a bill me option. But yeah, that's how you do that.
Okay. So just set up a commercial account.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Make sure it's a business account.
All right. Oh, I had a question on that.
Go ahead.
On that IRS form. Let me go back to the site. Actually, it was a 501A designation.
Okay, go ahead. I'm about to pull it up.
Okay. Now, basically, it's coming up with a compliance guide for tax-exempt organizations. The 501Cs for the religious entities.
Well, 501c is more than religion. It's charitable, religious, educational, scientific, and literary. Testing for public safety, fostering amateur sports competition, or preventing cruelty to children or animals.
Okay.
So it's not just, 501c3. It's not just religious.
Right.
Where is it? I'm trying to find A, though. I'm only pulling up C.
Yeah, that's the thing. I had the A4.
Hey, Michael.
Sure.
So when it comes to this information about the charitable aspect, I'll just say this, and so it's no disrespect to Soap. When Soap came across this information with me, because we were trained in this information, we weren't just like on the internet Googling IRS stuff. So that's the main thing I want to convey to you. The second thing is, Soap was like, I'm gonna do it and then see if our mentor, if he gives me the thumbs up because we get it right. I haven't heard Soap say nothing about it yet. But Soap took hold of what we did get, and we right here, and we know how to do it right. So we learned how to do it right, and we can compete with any of your lawyers in the country. Because it's all about results, baby. We live in an information age. You all are looking to do things on your own. We're not looking to be your babysitter. We're called trustees. We're not looking to be your parents. We're not looking to be your guru. We say you go to trustee training. You learn how to be a good steward of your estate. So that's what we talk about. And we're specifically trained in that information, and we're here to make sure others are trained in that information as well. So, Michael, I'd love to see you wild goose chase, because I was just like even asking Soap that simple question. Oh, what is it? What's more than a 501c3? And then Soap explains the multiple things. Brother, we deal in contract law, so you gotta know even specifically what the contract says that we're talking about. The contract you might be using, if it works, we gonna give you a pat on the back, Michael. Straight up, we gonna give you a pat on the back. I was gonna say we'll pay you what we paid to learn it, but I mean honestly, Michael, if you do it, that's a blessing on you, brother. And now you can hang, and that's all we're looking for is brothers and sisters to hang with us. So, I mean, good luck on your search, brother, for finding this information and seeing how you gonna put your stuff together, Michael. I love to hear the spark in your heart, brother. It sounds good.
Well, I'm just trying to do my due diligence. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I understand, and I'm not gonna sit here and make it all elusive and exclusive and be like, it's impossible to, completely set this entity up on your own. But I will say that I didn't try to do it on my own. I went through, like he said, and I don't really say this, but we went through specific training, and there was a specific energy exchange for the training, and I took notes, I recorded everything, I printed everything off, and I did it, and we did it ourselves, and we got determination letters. It's tax exempt, these entities, and their private family foundations. So, more power to you. I'm not saying like it's not something that I'm not special, man. And 100% honors for doing your due diligence. We need more brothers and sisters like that. But this is tricky.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I want to be
agree
specifically
with
clear.
100%.
This is different than private estate, your family estate, because your family estate, asset protection trust, unincorporated business trust, family trust, these are private. And your unincorporated business trust hopefully only deals with the public on, buy services and goods and services, the buying and sales of goods and services. But when we're dealing with a public charity, 501c3 exempt entities, these have a lot of red tape, number one, and have a lot of
different.
What would you say? Have a strong ability to affect public and public policy. So they're scrutinized. It's not a game.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, basically anything with the IRS is not a game.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Well, we're dealing with, this is a charitable entity, so if we're accepting donations and we're giving them charitable, they're going to do their taxes and expecting, charitable credits. It's going to be an issue if, they're not going to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just want to, chime in and let you guys know you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. I'm gonna speak back and keep listening.
Man, we appreciate you, brother. You the same brother that called into the vault last night?
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you, man. 2 nights in a row. That's love. Thank you very much.
So what's up, bro? Peace.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Peace to the guys. 718-4911. 4911.
Peace. I'm so LP, Sharif Ali. What happened? You threw down. So L. Just you know who this is. From Bill. Brownsville. Dow. What's up?
What's up, man? Brother Peace. How you doing?
I'm all right. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
Very well, brother.
That's good. One time it was this guy on the train, and when you say you look in the mirror, well, anyway, when you look in the mirror, you see you, and anybody who looks in the mirror, they see themselves. You got a lot of dudes out here, you got some trustees out here, and they be doing, as you say, commercial jelly. They be like, trying to take out the next trustees, with their commercial jelly. And this
That's
dude one
agent.
time was talking. This dude was talking one time like his girl was pregnant, and he gonna punch her in the stomach. I mean, like he tripping,
Whoa.
But the thing about it, I mean, how can you kill yourself? That's the way I look at it, With some, but I'm saying that I'm not trying to, have anybody, they might have did something in their past. But what happened, they can make whatever they did in their past if they, took themselves, I mean, I feel you're supposed to love yourself, but you got a lot of people, they don't know any better. They were taught to kill themselves, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, he going to punch his girl in the stomach, and he just killed her himself, she was pregnant. And he just like, I'm going to make her, like, lose this, this little one that's going to be on the way, And
Man, yeah.
well,
Savage 21.
But young dude, I was like, I said, you heard James Brown record, say it loud, I'm proud, and he was like, nah, I never heard that record before, and but when he was telling me, I was like, this dude, he was talking like it was very exciting. He's gonna like, he don't want this, his future coming up. I was like, wow, but a lot of people gotta like, they gotta stop killing themselves, they gotta stop killing themselves. If you don't, I mean, do not create life, if you ain't gonna do anything about it, But anyway, Sharif Ali, so El threw down, you know what I'm saying? It's your turn, Ali. That he threw down about, the nipples they use for nothing. And like it's you. You threw down tonight, so Al. So I'm waiting to see what Sharif Ali got. So it's your turn, Sharif. All right, listen, I'm gonna yell, all right? I'm gonna talk to your guys when you'll come back on like next week, all right? Peace to all the guys and the goddesses.
Peace to you guys.
All right, peace, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, peace.
I like how he said that. We taught to kill ourselves, man. And look, how about let's just talk about thought. When you think of something, you'd like to be somewhere on that island, or there's a specific car that you'd like, or something that you would like to do or create, And we think in our minds, I can't do that. We think in our minds, if I did that, I wouldn't be good at that. I might embarrass ourselves. I believe that's killing ourselves as well. The foods we eat, woo, man. My family from the South, y'all. But I grew up in the North, but I've been all over the world. Man, some of the food my family eat, man, it's just like, why? I understand it's tradition and go along with it. We be killing ourselves with food. We be killing ourselves with the things that we do to make so-called money. We be killing ourselves working overtime and stuff so we can have this car payment and this insurance payment and look good, or these clothes, or be house poor, this big house, barely can afford it, ain't got no disposable income. We be killing ourselves, man. Killing ourselves, like not doing the knowledge to the issues that we have and focusing on everyone else's issue. So friends and family slowly just move away from our inner circles, and we wonder how we got these suckers around us, how we got these manipulators and these drama queens and these drama kings around us. And we pointing to everybody else. And, look at you and look at you and look at what you posted on Facebook and that wasn't right and all this other stuff. When really we're killing ourselves. These things that I think about, every day. I jump on here and I don't get personal. I try not to get personal with this. I try to keep it business because I think we're most affected by the way we do this as a people. I think we're most affected by the way we don't do business as a people. So when it comes to this show, The Foundation, I'm really going to stick to foundational principles of business, because I think we're most affected by that. I think not having the money to pay that bill affects us more when she comes in saying some stuff we don't really want to hear, or vice versa. Why is she tripping on me? Because she don't feel secure because she know how much money we got. And her nest ain't feeling real safe. Her foundation ain't that up to par to the way she's scrutinizing it. And I'm getting personal and emotional because I feel like she personally attacking me. When she's telling me about me, you telling me about me? Killing myself, And I just think, I think that was a beautiful point, brother Dell from Brownsville. And, I appreciate, the listeners, man. I appreciate y'all who check the show out, who call in live, who listen to the archives, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because this is the things that I speak about, whether it's, predominantly business or I digress into some personal, start talking about, personal stuff, what I would consider personal stuff. It's because I'm passionate about it. Let's just be honest, man. I'm really passionate about it. I shake my head a lot when I look at my people. It's embarrassing. And I know I embarrass my people and I embarrass my ancestors. But there's something that not only do I know, but I have this intrinsic requirement almost within me to do better. And when I'm not doing better, I don't feel good about myself. When I'm not building, I don't feel good about myself. When I let someone cut me off or call me a name, you nigger, and my emotions flare up and I embarrass myself in public in front of my children or in front of people that don't know me and misrepresent my nation, my culture, my ancestors, my DNA, my country even, I don't feel good about myself. when I don't honor my creativity, I don't feel good about myself. When I don't honor my royalty, I don't feel good about myself. There's a lot of things in society, in the media, that wants me to think that I ain't that. But there's something in me that I know I am. You know you are. And we have this internal struggle that we go through with. And I'm passionate about that internal struggle. And I'm passionate about the outcome of that internal struggle. Not only with myself, but with my people. With all of y'all. With everyone. And I ain't talking about just my people who shares the same melanin content with me. Or greater. Not just them. We all people, man. It's one race. It's the human race. Everything else is illusionary as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, when it comes to my people, melanated people, we are the most destroyed, yo. So I'm going to handle that first, if you don't mind. Can I do that? You don't mind? No disrespect. It's my overall point of this whole thing, the foundation, me being on the vault, consultations, the trustee trainings, doing business in the private, the PayPal invoices, the email responses, all of this is because I'm passionate about this struggle and the outcome of this struggle. It's an internal struggle. It's a struggle that cannot be told in words, but a lot of it is going to be played out on the physical plane. And I think the biggest thing that distracts us from that struggle and being able to see that struggle and war positively and successfully within that struggle is simply how we're doing business. You hear what I'm saying? And how we're losing and how it's affecting our abilities, what we can and cannot do. How it's affecting our status in our relationships with the people we care about, the people we want to spend time with, the people that, mean the most to us. And how, we look in their eyes, how we're doing business. The business is tore up, brother. Your business is tore up, sister. What we focused on is tore up.
Time to clean up.
It's time to clean
up. Put up or shut up. Some brothers and sisters, they'll play with us and be like, yeah, we going to pay you in gold and silver. Put up. We never told brothers and sisters we wouldn't accept gold and silver. But did they really put it up and ship it to us? No. So, we're going to move forward.
Family estate is when you walk into your place where you go to sleep, the time that you spend with those that you truly care about and where you do it at, the things that you want to leave behind for your loved ones. Your property, your home, that 30-year mortgage. Are you sure that property is going to go to your child, to your niece, your nephew, to whatever you want, to that church? Are you sure? Are you confident in that? Or do you just think? Do you just believe? And is thinking and believing enough? Do you understand the difference between the family estate and the public estate? Do you understand that the public is not worried about you? It's worried about self. Do you understand it's in the public's best interest to get you thinking in the same way, to be worried about self, to be taking selfies, and the like, for no real benefit. those that we're trying to look like, that we're trying to aspire to be like, those who are taking those pictures that we see with all the makeup and the photo shoots, they get money for that, y'all. They getting paid for that or paid to do that. They getting paid to model those clothes. They getting paid to wear those shoes. They getting paid to push those products. Are you getting paid for all those selfies, man? And what are we teaching our daughters and our sons? And is that for public image or is that for family image? Is that for us or is that for self? Do you understand the difference between your private image and your public image? And do you understand which one's more important? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe we know. Maybe you know everything. Maybe when you got out of school, whether you graduated or didn't, and you were just done, and you turned that certain age, you didn't have to learn anything else. Maybe you knew everything. And maybe we can just leave it at that, right? (424-222-5250), man. I don't know, man.
Press one, y'all.
Sharif,
Press
you think
one.
there's anything
Press
else? 205-0397. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How y'all brothers doing?
Peace, brother.
Doing well, brother. How you doing? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is brother Ether Barrael, Birmingham, Alabama.
Oh, brother Ether. What's
YL.
going on?
What's up, brother?
Well, just had just chimed in. Got a chance, catch the tail end of it. I missed it. I go back in the archives and check it out. I was just, just chiming in, just show honest.
Salute, brother. Appreciate you.
Indeed. What was the bill about tonight?
Family estate versus public estate.
Very interesting. Indeed.
What do you think? What do you think? We were really specifically discussing the distinction. So, if you were, can you in any way articulate your version of your distinction between what you would think or believe or know to be the family estate versus the public estate?
Well, I guess we can put it in a way as family. That's more private. You know what I'm saying? That's sacred, right there. So public business. That's more like my business setup. So what I'm working with my skills, with my tools. Working my tools of the mind. My skill set, and I'm going to display for the world. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you got products for for a change or whatnot. So that's more like public on the business tip, but family tip, it go a little bit more deeper because now we're dealing with private, so it's a whole different setup, so that's gonna be the inheritance for the family, with the things that you build in the business, in the public and private as well, but but getting the estate is serious, getting the land is serious. We definitely need to, get that and know how to inherit it, to get it and to be able to inherit it to our families, to be able to really control it, what I'm saying? Not, just got the house, but you don't own the land, what I'm saying? Really understand about, the difference between and controlling and just paying a mortgage, understanding, more about how money works, so that's why I salute y'all, brother, that y'all really clear that up for me, to get to this level now, and I just been only listening for probably about a month now. The brother Mellow Bay put me on, so I've been digging, and I want to be able to get to the point to be able to, share this with the family, and I have been sharing it with the family. A lot of intelligence been going up, so yeah, people understand about it. It's something going on in this game, spirit-wise, spiritually, 'cause I done talked about a lot of things like history. This ain't Jesus, this color, that color, but this right here, I went through my family, and they like, that's interesting. You need to draw that up for me and come back. So I'm like, okay, I will, So I'm on the road at the moment. But, yeah, that's pretty much. I ain't want to hold the line too long, though, brother.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man. I got to hit you up, right? I got to hit you up next couple of days, right? Okay.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. Yeah, just hit me up. If I miss it, I don't know, area code you be calling from, whatnot. You just leave a text, and we can make it happen.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Appreciate you calling in, man. Thanks.
All right, brother. Peace. All right, peace, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, like the first thing he said was, "Oh, that's private right there. That's sacred. That's what's up. For real, it is. It really is. It's sacred, man. What's sacred these days? Sharif, man. What you thinking, man? We got like 13 minutes left. 504. You put your hand up. 504-5993. And you put your hand down. Was that on purpose or on accident? Push one again if you want to say something. Sharif, what you think, man?
I mean, I know what you mean by sacred. I'll just say this to the brothers on the line. Hey, brothers, you guys got to put the $12 million, the $50 million, the $100 million, whatever $1 million, $1 billion, you got to put it in front of your eyes. You got to put it on your mirror. You got to see that number every day, fellas. And you got to earn it. I'm just being real with you, fellas. If you guys are looking to be that guy for the family, you know what you need. Just put it up on your mirror. No dream is too small. You got to put it up and you got to taste it right now. It's brothers. It's like, man, I see so many of us just going, and I see so many people in life. And I just think about rich people, man, and all my rich friends. And Stowe knows this. They're always more thinking about getting more money. It don't matter if they $30 million in debt. We know friends that have been in $30 million in debt, and they still were like, yo, I could get up. I could beat this. I could double up. I could beat this. And I'm like, dang, this guy is going. And you guys think that you have a position to sit still? I feel like so, like, honestly, when it comes to the family estate, people aren't even working. They're not even working at the family estate. And so for that reason, it's time when you get this knowledge, you got to double up. There's no, the knowledge is hard. How long is it going to take me? All you got to do is just put your nose down and study hard. That's all you can do for your family. You can just study hard for however long it takes. It could take 6 months. It could take a year for you to get a good, solid base of understanding how to administer your family. This is just the facts, folks. How long does it take to get a degree? It takes 4 years. So it might take you 4 years to get this information. But you got to think big, brothers and sisters, early, man. Don't think small. If you think small, have fun with that journey. But I just encourage you all to take your fair share, because you don't know how many days you got numbered anyways. So just take your fair share now. Put your number up and go after it right now. We're over here in the wilderness by ourselves. There's no one coming to save us. So if we could think of anything, let's think of ourselves out of this situation economically. You got to have a big number. That's why we're in this situation, because enough of us ain't thinking big. They just wanted to have enough money to buy their shoe collection. So, their car collection. We know now. Me and Soap, we're very biased on the car collection aspect, brothers and sisters. Just like the shoe collection, we know what assets are. So you got
asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out your pocket. 504-5993.
You were the asset.
Hey, how you brothers doing, man? This Eddie Love. I feel y'all on the family, man. I'm building a family estate. That's what I'm working on myself. Making sure I get my family involved in what I'm doing and learning, teaching them as I go. Because I grew up I didn't have real family structure. But I know how important it is. I done did quite a lot of reading in here, and that's where it's at. That's where the real power at, because like I even learned the history of where public school system comes from and how all that shit came about. And it's all about them just trying to control the kids' minds and teach them. Like here in America, they teaching us to everybody to be for themselves and not collective. It's not a collective mindset over here. It's all about me, self. But with the family estate, it's all about the family. And like you said, your name, your last name, and building on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the power at. It's in unity. So I feel that that's deep.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's like this. You want to be sovereign. You want to be private. You get this information, you don't turn around to family, you will not advance.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna spin your wheels somewhere on Minnesota Rule 220 or the DBA or the 9-8 number or the right to travel. You're gonna spin. You're gonna sit somewhere and spin. Discard. You're gonna spin. Like UCC, you're gonna spin. You're gonna sit there and spin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And then I look at it like this, man. It's not so much of my family. Like I'm just looking to build with people, kind of like how y'all say. I feel I'm constantly just looking to do business with people who want to do business and who want to. And it's like y'all. You looking for people with the same type of mindset you got. You know what I'm saying? And them people become your circle, and them the people that you build with. No. Because it's people. My family is, for the most part, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Look, this how it goes, man. You gotta go hard body, brother. You gotta go hard for the family. You gotta bring them truly out the ashes. If you don't bring them out the ashes, then they ain't coming out the ashes. That's how you got to take the stance.
Yeah.
I'm just being for real. Me and Soda over here, I don't see Soda over here looking over to his family saying, yo, what y'all doing for the family trust? So I'm going to tell y'all the real situation about this whole trust situation, why it's so sophisticated. It's because it requires order. It requires order. See, that's what's lacking in the community. It's lack of order. You want to know what? People don't want to start on time. If you don't start on time, lack of order. So guess what, brothers and sisters? Y'all think it's a game out here. Oh, Sharif just saying that right there. Oh, okay. You're right about that. But when you go to a secret order, they have order. Things start on time. There's real order there. And so we would like to consider it a business chamber where you get to come in and talk about business stuff and things of that nature. And we want to make sure that, anybody can tell you to start a business, but how many people told you what entity to use? See, anybody could tell you what business, so go start a business. It's like 8,000 different type of businesses to start. I don't even know what to do. Exactly. Because they didn't give you that in public school. That's not a business school. It's a public school. But these are the things that we don't consider a disadvantage. A disadvantage is not having a family estate set up for you. So,
disadvantage is only using the social to produce and acquire income. That's a disadvantage as well.
Exactly. Once you go private, that joint doesn't even show up on the radar no more. So your family doesn't even show up like that no more. I can't wait so it doesn't show up on the radar no more. So all of the names just go, they go out. And we all private. And we still running it. Still generating wealth. Because that's what you can do. They tracking your wealth in the public. Am I right or wrong? So in the public, do they track your wealth with the social? They're going to track your whole life. Oh, you went this. You did this. You did that. Tracking your life. Now it's up to you whether you want to change that.
When it comes to
have some level.
When it comes to like IRS, they do a broad search in all their databases, and they pull up every single thing attached to that social. Everything. Same thing. You get divorced. You're divorced. Whoever's divorcing you, they got a good attorney. Everything is coming up. Everything. That's when you can really see just how private the social is not. How private it is not. Not at all. And there's no two specific situations. I consulting a guy right now. My man's like European dude, like 55 or something. IRS all over him. So they popped all of his accounts. Every one of them. When he met me, he was only using like those blue dot cards or whatever those, cash. I don't know what they are, man. Prepaid Visa cards. That's what they were. That's all I could use. Because the IRS hit every single account attached to that social. Every one of them was attached. Every one of them was IRS lien on it. It was frozen. Negative. Oops. Let's say you got children, man. I got children, man. It's not their fault that I made a mistake. Whether I did it on purpose, I should have thought about my children, correct. It's still not their fault if I didn't. I'm selfish. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about my children. There's people out there like that. They messed up because, IRS is going out. Now, what is for them? What's for them? What's left for them? IRS took everything. This dude didn't even have, he wasn't even able to see his children because he couldn't provide for them. And if you, for real, if you can't provide for your children, I mean, there are certain circumstances where you can't provide. But if you're not providing for your children, I mean, what real rights do you really have to that child? What school it goes to, what religion, they're introduced to, so on and so forth. So he's on the outs with his children, all because this happened with the IRS. You know what I'm saying? And I believe him. He messed up with his taxes. He wasn't anticipating certain things. And certain things happened with his employment where there was income that they attached that he wasn't expecting them to attach to, and he really didn't know. It was truly ignorance. It was really ignorance. I believe the dude. The dude started crying to me one time. It's terrible. That's that public estate. That's how the public don't care about your children. What if they go to a private school or not? IRS don't care. Does not care. We're gonna go over, man. You out here? You good, Eddie Love?
Hey, listen, what's the name? Locker.
Appreciate you calling in, brother. Peace.
Peace to the guys.
Yeah, we streaming. Peace to the guys. We streaming now. It's terrible. It's terrible when you don't take into consideration the public estate. Everyone who's on this episode live, if you called in live, if you fall off, you can call back in because we're streaming now. But we ain't gonna go too much over it. But there's definitely situations. Let's say you did make a bunch of money, but you didn't do your business affairs in order. But you think that your personal assets are safe if you pass away, right? You're expecting to leave an inheritance for your children. This happened to a friend of mine I went to high school with. he was going to private school. Suddenly he wasn't going to private school anymore. He was in the public school with us. His father passed away, and the creditors attached to his estate from his public businesses and took everything. My man got an old car and like a rundown property in Florida that wasn't really worth anything. Everything else is gone. And I'm telling you, when I first met this dude, you know what I mean? His dad still had he had a private runway with a private plane. It wasn't a jet. It had propellers. The dude, his dad had a private plane, man. Throughout the years that I knew this dude, as he got older and older, he said, every time I saw his father, man, there was these two lawyers with him, man. And he didn't get nothing. Matter of fact, he tried to hustle on some street stuff and ended up going to prison for 5 years. And then went completely straight. That happened because the public, because his family estate wasn't set up. Another European cat. Family estate wasn't set up. Passed away, he didn't get nothing. Wasn't used to the lifestyle, tried to continue the lifestyle illegally, went to prison. Changed his whole life. We ain't even cool anymore. Change your whole life. It only takes one misstep. How much have you studied the public estate anyways? How much have you studied the Internal Revenue Code? What are the statutes of limitations on, willful failure to file or, error in filing or, whatever. What the limitations are? It's all about family estate. I'm good, Sharif. I'm about to wrap it up. You got anything?
Nah, brother. You've been doing a great job. That's all that needs to be said. Thank you for doing what we need to do. We needed to hear tonight. Another one down for High Frequency Radio Network. Sodell, Sharif Ali. Make sure y'all come out to our event, March 25th. It's going to be a great one. If you got an RSVP, we're looking to actually finish that booking up here shortly over the next 2 weeks. So we look forward to you all being there, and we look forward to giving you all the message. Look forward to you all coming together, brothers and sisters. Put your money where your mouth is. It's money where your mouth is season. The name of the event is Family Business, Private Wealth. It's just that simple. We live life simply over here. We don't have a lot of chaos going on. We're not into the whole social rigmarole. We're into private family banking. So didn't really say we were going to drop the private family banking, but I'm going to just put it out there for you. The private family banking is on deck this event too. So when we all want to talk about where we're dropping, we're bringing private family banking. So just to let everybody know, the events are action-packed. We're not talking about you depending on a creditor for a bank. We're not talking about you repairing your credit. You still see Sharif Ali didn't say repair your credit. People talking about repair your credit. We'll eat you guys alive any day. So,
I fix your credit face. It's terrible. Poor guy.
So, it is what it is. Peace to the gods.
Exactly. It's all love. It's all love. For equality, for we all equally understand how this is working, how the wheels on the bus go round and round, you know what I mean? It's for justice, and we need justice. You need justice in economics. Let's get that first. Justice in the economic stability of your family estate. There's a public claim, to the name that you use to do business in commerce. Accept income, report income, so on and so forth. It's tied to all your commercial affairs, whether it's your bank account, your loans, your cell phone account, etc. The public claim to that name, where's the private one? Where's the private claim to that name that you do business with in public? And do you have a name, a private name with a private claim that you do business with in public as well? And if you don't, why not? Hit us up, HFRN.Foundation@gmail.com. We do consultations, usually an hour. We train trustees. We establish private family foundations, man. We do it in the private. A workman is worthy of his or her hire. Energy is to be exchanged. I busted my butt to be able to do a show called The Foundation by myself and be able to bring all this different information. And on top of that, it costs money to be able to understand and be trained in these entities. But hey, you're paying taxes, right? It just depends on how you're going to get taxed. We're going to get taxed regardless. Welcome to thevault.com. Sign up to the email list. We're building it out, man. We adding more and more. HighFrequencyRadioNetwork.com. PDF section. I mean, check out the old shows. Check out the archives. Check it out. Check it out. March 25th, we're going to be in Dallas Airport. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be a lot of information, a lot of private information, a lot of stuff we can't even say on the radio. I'm not going to say. Family estate versus public estate. We need to understand these things. So appreciate you. Get some gold, get some silver. Hit us up if you need to. Check us out next week. The Vault, The Foundation, Rules to the Game. Open Forum Friday. You know what it is. I love y'all, man. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.